Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 90s cartoon episodes that were banned for a variety of reasons and eventually found their way back to the surface so we could watch them again. So, let the countdown begin. Number 10. Flying Dupes from the 1991 cartoon TALESPIN. An American animated Disney series featuring characters from the 1967 Disney film The Jungle Book. Bush pilot Baloo the Bear along with King Louie and Shere Khan operate an air cargo freight business during the late 1830s era in a land called Cape Suzette. On their many adventures, they encounter things like air pirates and representatives of Thembria, which is a parody of the Stalinist Soviet Union inhabited by Boers. In the episode Flying Dupes, we follow Baloo, who is asked to deliver a cuckoo clock as a goodwill present to the High Marshal of Thembria.
It's ticking. It's a cuckoo clock!
Turns out the present was a time bomb planted by munitions manufacturers who wished to provoke a war between Thembria and Cape Suzette in order to boost weapon sales. A lovable character Baloo carrying out an assassination attempt, bombs on planes, terrorism themes. That's our show! It's no wonder this episode was pulled from the lineup shortly after airing. Number 9. Leapfrogs from the 1993 cartoon ROCCO'S Modern Life.
That was a hoot!
In this series, we follow a wallaby who moved to the US from his native home of Australia. But things are not as he'd hoped they'd be when he gets saddled with annoying toad neighbors and a laundry list of problems. The episode Leapfrogs was banned from Nickelodeon because of its sexual humor and adultery content showing Bev Bighead attempting to seduce Rocco.
Would you zip me up, darling?
Apparently, this episode was just a little too sexy for the kids.
Oh, that tickles. Oops. You shaved for me?
What the hell, Nickelodeon? Number 8. The appearance of Sailor Uranus in Sailor Moon S. It's known that the North American version and other countries did their best to censor adult themes in the Japanese Sailor Moon anime series, such as nudity, violence, and even LGBT themes. During the 3rd season of Sailor Moon, known as Sailor Moon S, we see the appearance of 2 new Sailor Scouts, Amara, Sailor Uranus, and Michelle, Sailor Neptune. Amara and Michelle were implied to be lovers in the original Japanese anime, but in some countries the relationship was censored or banned altogether as homosexuality was seen as too risque for children's programming. In Russia and Hungary, Sailor Uranus was a man who transformed into a woman, while some countries opted for skipping out on these 2 characters altogether and did not air any episodes containing the pair, like in Albania. In North America, however, Michelle and Amara were referred to as cousins. Number 7. Buffalo Gals from the 1998 cartoon Cow and Chicken.
Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. He didn't care how.
We follow the wacky adventures of a chicken named Chicken who reluctantly watches out for his beefy little sister, Cow. The episode Buffalo Gals was banned by Cartoon Network after airing because of its innuendos implying that the Buffalo Gals were a group of lesbians and its typecasting of lesbians.
Where's the Buffalo Gals?
A motorcycle riding gang that randomly bursts into people's homes and chews on their carpet.
Here's my card. Drop by anytime!
A female biker gang led by Munch Kelly eating people's carpets and drapes and singing their theme song, Won't You Come Out Tonight?
Oh yes, pretty boys, we're coming out tonight!
And talking about pitching and catching, which are slang terms for sex, I think went just a little too far for the kids on this one. Number 6! Man's Best Friend from the 1992 cartoon Ren and Stimpy.
I'm so angry!
Okay, there's not much things that I hate in life, but I'd hate Ren and Stimpy so much! Ren is a gross, psychotic chihuahua, and Stimpson J. Cat is a dim-witted Max Cat who goes by Stimpy. Ew! Someone gave me a Ren and Stimpy keychain one time, and I seriously just threw it in the garbage because I thought it would come to life. The episode Man's Best Friend. Oh my god, I can't believe I had to watch this episode for science! Ren and Stimpy are purchased from a pet store by a man named George Licker who has severe anger and discipline issues. Towards the end, the man asks Ren and Stimpy to attack him to learn how to be faithful attack animals. Stimpy is reluctant to beat his master, but Ren spares no time and grabs a paddle, beating the man so hard and violently his eye pops out and seems to die. Teaching kids it's comical to beat people with paddles till they die, basically, may not be the best idea for a kid's cartoon, but personally, I think that all these episodes should be banned. Number 5. Deadly Force from the 1994 cartoon Gargoyles.
The spell is broken, and we live again.
We follow a group of nocturnal gargoyles brought to life from medieval times after being kept in a stone-like petrified state. They wake up in modern-day New York, where they learn to adjust to modern life and work to be defenders of the night. In the episode Deadly Force, we see a gargoyle named Broadway playing with a gun in a woman named Elisa's apartment.
My fault. I was playing with the gun. Elisa?
After accidentally firing the weapon, we see Elisa shot down, lying in a pool of blood.
Is this a new kind of gun? A new way to kill people?
The purpose of this episode was to show kids they shouldn't imitate the violence they see on TV, but Disney thought the blood was a little too harsh.
I'll never touch a gun again.
I should have been a lot more careful about where I left it. We both made mistakes.
After pulling out the whole episode, it was later added back into the mix after editing out all the blood. Number 4! Rude removal from the 1998 cartoon Dexter's Laboratory.
Charmed. Off.
In this animated series, we follow child genius Dexter, who creates amazing world-saving inventions in his secret laboratory, where his big sister Dee Dee is never too far away to wreak havoc in his lab and wreck his experiments. In the episode Rude Removal, Dee Dee and Dexter are accidentally split into two pairs, a polite pair and a rude pair.
What do you think, Dexter?
I think it tastes like. Hey, where's the candy?
While the profanity is censored with bleeps, the act of swearing and the rude behavior towards their mother didn't make for an appropriate episode for the kids.
So why don't you do what all good mothers are supposed to do and clean it up yourself?
Number 3. Electric Soldier Porygon from the 1997 episode of Pokemon.
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon the animated series made worldwide headlines due to this infamous episode that was eventually banned. Ash and his friends travel inside a computer to determine what's causing the digital Pokemon transfer system to malfunction. During this episode, we see an effect involving rapidly flashing blue and red lights. I'll show this effect right now, but on super slow speed. Known as Pokemon Shock, about 12,000 Japanese viewers experienced symptoms of nausea ranging from seizures to temporary blindness, and over 600 were sent to the hospital.
関わっていく部分があって、それが主な原因だということでした。
The entire series was pulled from Japan television for 4 months, and the episode never aired in any country again. But later, when airing in the US, extreme precautions were taken to slow down the speed of any scene involving the flashing lights. Number 2. One beer from the 1991 episode of Tiny Toon Adventures.
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony.
In this series, we follow a group of young cartoon characters who attend Acme Looniversity to become the next generation of characters from the Looney Tunes series.
That's beer.
Plucky, Buster, and Hampton stumble upon a beer, and between the three of them get blackout drunk,
Just pass the brewski, bub. Oh, this is so weird.
steal a police vehicle, and accidentally drive it off a cliff, killing themselves. It was reported that many children became distressed and disturbed watching their favorite characters die. The episode was later removed from almost every network airing the show. And number 1. Way Down Mexico Way from the 1993 episode of Beavis and Butthead. A pair of rude, crude, and dim-witted boys watch music videos and provide their own commentary on the clips. Famous for their angelic, childlike laughter, these two high schoolers became 90s icons for their crude humor, snarly attitude, and foul language.
Fireworks? These people are stupid.
In the 2-part episode Way Down Mexico Way, we see the pair mugging a child for fireworks, throwing around cultural slurs at Mexicans, and agreeing to be drug mules, swallowing a condom full of pills.
Rubbers, boys. Make sure to tie 'em a couple times. It's a rough ride through the digestive tract.
After failing a basic citizenship test due to their natural stupidity and being high, they were allowed back into the US.
God bless America.
Many episodes have been banned in the past, but swallowing condoms in order to smuggle drugs across the border drew a bit of a line. The entire franchise proved to be very controversial, inspiring copycat behavior from kids who tuned into the show's primetime 7 p.m. weeknight slot. A child made headlines mooning his teacher after watching Beavis and Butthead do the same, while another child in Santa Cruz inserted an M80 firecracker into a cat's rectum, blowing the cat up after Beavis and Butthead suggested it. There have even been reports of children trying to burn houses and buildings down after being inspired by the show. So what do you guys think of my list here? In the comments down below, let me know what you think was the most controversial episode, and if you think it was a step in the right direction, pulling the plug on all of these. Thumbs up if you hate Ren and Stimpy as much as I do. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay legendary.